Split Second takes place in the futuristic world of 2008. Who can forget? Remember in 2008 when it rained for months and everything flooded, pollution was on the rise, and rats were infesting the streets? Hey, wait a minute, that might have actually happened, but at least we didn't have to deal with a serial killer monster. So, yeah, like I said, after 40 days and nights of rain, London is mostly underwater. Rats are infesting the streets, and all the Taco Bells have closed up. It's a pretty bad time to be alive. First, we meet Harley Stone, a cop who's been put under suspension. You see, years ago, his partner, Forrester McLean, was killed. Stone supposedly had his back, but he was still murdered. On top of that, Stone was boinking McLean's wife, so he feels even more guilty. Now he uses his free time to hunt down the killer, seemingly having a psychic connection to where and when it's going to attack next. This time it just so happens to be in a club, and when he's not paying attention, the killer strikes. Here we see his MO. It rips out hearts of its victims and eats them. Later on at the station, Stone gets a good talking to from the chief. He also gets a new partner, Dick Durkin.
Detective Dick Durkin.
And you know what a new partner means? Stone's suspension has been lifted. As they leave, we see that they've received a package. The heart of the girl killed at the club, with a big old bite taken out of it. Well, that's just nasty. It's at this point one would assume that what we're dealing with here isn't human. They get a call that there's been another victim, and they head over to the scene of the crime. Just like before, heart's been ripped out, but this time the killer left behind a clue. Written in blood on the ceiling, the astrological symbol of Scorpio.
Symbol for Scorpio. Inverted triangle inside a circle.
Outside, Stone has a panic attack and starts shooting at nothing, which seems to get the attention of the local police. But even here, they're being watched. A little later, Stone goes to see his old partner's gravesite when we meet Michelle. You know, the deceased partner's wife that Stone was having an affair with. They still seem to be hitting it off. The guy's dead. I mean, you could respect his wishes, but okay. She goes back to Stone's place, which admittingly needs a woman's touch. He falls asleep, wakes up with a pigeon on his head, pulls a prank on Durkin, and we learn a little bit about Stone's new partner. Mainly, that he gets laid every night.
That's disgusting.
The guys end up going to a bar to get some food, discussing Stone and the killer's psychic connection. For one thing, they're both Scorpios, but there's got to be more to it than that. Meanwhile, we see it's lurking right outside Stone's apartment, where Michelle's taking a shower. The guys get a call and rush over. Stone heads into his bathroom expecting the worst, but lo and behold, Michelle's still alive. But the monster's close. They hear screaming in another apartment. They barge in, and Durkin gets shot by the creature. Stone opens fire, hitting it several times, but not slowing it down one bit, and it gets away. In the bathroom, we see that it's a bloodbath. And worse yet, Stone hears Michelle scream. The creature bit her. But luckily it didn't finish the job.
Don't worry about it.
Stone once again has a nervous breakdown, and when he wakes up, we see a giant scar on his arm. Obviously he was attacked. Is that why he has that connection with the creature? Durkin sure thinks so. Oh, yeah, he's alive. It turns out he had a bulletproof vest on. Back in the office, Stone gets the report from the lab that tested the heart with the chunk taken out of it. So it turns out that it has traces of a rat virus in it, and DNA from all the victims. including Stone and now Michelle. We also learn that the last victim still had their heart. It didn't get it, so now we know he'll be back. Our heroes head down to the morgue to where the body's stored, which is really creepy, by the way. Why are all the bodies floating? Well, the place looks clear until blood starts dripping from the ceiling. They shoot at it, and once again it does nothing. It even rips through a giant steel door to escape. It's at this point Durgan knows.
We need bigger guns. Big gun!
After arming up, Durgan puts it together that 2008 is the year of the rat, and the inverted triangle, like the symbol they saw in the blood, represents water. The circle is a sign of magic and power. When chaos reigns, the fallen angel will prevail. So I guess we're hunting Satan now. A bunch of stuff happens that I'm just gonna gloss over. Stone has a heart in his fridge, Dick shoots a rat, he passes out and wakes up with a symbol carved on his chest, which ends up being a map, and now they know the location of the next victim. That's the good news. The bad news is there's no way to get there. Due to the flooding, all the streets are closed off. So Stone's gonna have to call in some help from a friend, which he's affectionately named the Rat Catcher. He takes him as far as he's willing to go. After that, they're on their own. They continue to venture deeper and deeper into the subway until they find Michelle tied up in a circle of light. Durgan knows that light can't be disturbed, for some reason, so he climbs up to the top of a train car and has her swing her way over to him. That's when the monster attacks, and we can finally get a good look at this thing. Honestly, I like it. It looks very alien. Stone opens fire on it, which we've learned does nothing. The monster, or is it Satan? At this point, I don't know. Either way, it grabs Stone, and it looks like it's all over for him. But just then, in the nick of time, Durgan pumps it full of lead, and he drops a grenade. They all go running as it explodes, and for some reason, Stone and Michelle think that this is the opportune time to make out. Sure, why not? But Stone knows that grenade isn't going to be enough to take out the Lord of Darkness, so he heads back, ready to fry its guts with electricity. When the timing's right, they flip the switch, and boom! That's gotta hurt. But it's not dead yet. Stone has to reach inside its chest and pull out its heart. Then, just for good measure, the rest come in to finish the job. And that was Split Second. I don't really get what was so split second about it. Sure, the creature was fast, but this makes it sound like a Fast and the Furious movie or something. The working title was Pentagram, which I think fits much better given the fallen angel connection. Overall, I like the story. It's just different enough to set it apart from the rest. The flooded streets were a nice touch, but what was the deal with the rats? They kept mentioning it, even saying that the creature had a rat virus. I was thinking it was going to be a rat monster or something like that. I do like how most of the movie, they refer to the monster as a killer. Like, up until the end, we can assume it's just an ordinary human serial killer. The cast did a fantastic job, especially Rutger Hauer. There are parts in this very serious movie that are genuinely funny because of the way a line was delivered. It brings some much needed levity, and I wasn't really expecting that. Split Second is worth a watch, especially if you like futuristic action movies with a little monster twist. I give it 3 bigger guns out of 4.
There was a rat, so I shot it.
You shot my kitchen, that's what.
I missed the rat.